Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of April, and this is the 1506th meeting of the Committee Against Torture. This is a public meeting. It's being webcasted, and it's our pleasure to review the initial report from Pakistan. The format will be that I will give the delegation the opportunity for an opening statement. After that, the two rapporteurs, Ms. Felice Geyer and Madame Belmir, will be given around 45 minutes each for questioning. After that, I will open up for questions from the remaining committee members. And if there's time, then after a small break, we will give the delegation the opportunity to start replying to the questions. However, it may be most likely that the most of the time will be filled with questions.
Now I turn to some of the allegations made against the military and paramilitary forces and the ISI. I previously noted the very troubling statistics we've been presented with, suggesting that such agencies have been implicated in a significant number of cases of suspected enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings involving torture. Now, in your report, the government indicates that it is the responsibility of the military to investigate military personnel accused of torture. I looked very hard, but I couldn't find that you provided us with any data reflecting the results of investigations undertaken by the Army of armed force personnel. Can you provide us with data on reported cases of alleged torture and those offenses ancillary to torture attributed to members of the Pakistani armed forces since signing and ratifying the convention 2010? And can you include how many of those cases have led to a criminal or disciplinary investigation? And by which authority? How many prosecutions were there, convictions, and what criminal and disciplinary sanctions have been imposed? Our committee was told that the Minister of Defense in March 2014 brought criminal complaints against Army officers in connection with a case of enforced disappearance of 35 persons who were removed from Malakand and in the internment center in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakhtunkhwa. 28 of the 35 were never heard from again. We've been told that this investigation was subsequently handed over to the military. Do you have any data or update on the progress in this case? Could you elaborate for us what its status was and what was found? Anybody charged? Where those people are, the 28 never heard from again? We've also received information alleging that the Inter-Service Intelligence, the ISI, is suspected of involvement in incidents, including the recent abduction and torture of some persons. Can you provide us with information on data on reported cases of alleged torture attributed to members of the ISI since 2010? Have there been any? And if so, how many have led to a criminal or disciplinary investigation, and by what authority? How many prosecutions, convictions, and again, same question, were criminal or disciplinary sanctions imposed? Now, finally, we've also been told about the alleged failure of the state party's authorities to prosecute torture by members of paramilitary forces that are operating in different parts of the country. First, the Frontier Corps. In October 2012, the Supreme Court issued an interim order in what is known as the Baluchistan Law and Order case. The court held that there was, quote, overwhelming evidence, unquote, implicating the Frontier Corps in cases of missing persons. And the court acknowledged that at least 100 people were still missing from Baluchistan. The Human Rights Council of Baluchistan has reported to us that they found 1,080 cases of enforced disappearances in 2016 in Baluchistan. So, I think you know what my question is. Has there been an inquiry, any inquiry into the responsibility of members of the Frontier Corps, any members of the Frontier Corps, for any disappearances in Baluchistan since the convention was ratified? And what have been the results, and has anybody been held accountable? And has there been any investigation specifically into the alleged enforced disappearance of Shulam Mohammed Baloch, Lola Baloch, and Sher Mohammed Baloch, three people that we heard about in this context? I turn to the other paramilitary force that we've heard about, the Pakistan Rangers. We were told that the Chief of the Army Staff, General Rahil Sharif, allegedly ordered a military inquiry into the May 2016 killing of Aftab Ahmad, A-F-T-A-B, A-H-M-A-D, a member of the MQM, the Mutahida Qawami movement. Aftab Ahmad was killed while in the custody of the Pakistan Rangers. And the Rangers, as you certainly know, but my colleagues are also aware, is a federal paramilitary force that has reportedly been given the authority to detain persons suspected of involvement in terrorism. It's our understanding that an autopsy report found that over 35% of his body was covered in bruises and abrasions, apparently inflicted while he was still alive, which indicates that there had been torture. Wonder if you could update us concerning the progress of investigation in the case of Aftab Ahmad. And more broadly, can you provide us data on the number of complaints attributed to members of the Rangers since 2010? And how many have led to criminal or disciplinary investigation, by which authority, prosecutions, convictions, criminal or disciplinary sanctions? Same questions I asked about the other groups.